Thank you.
Barb's good.
Very good then. Barb, should we proceed?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, let me restart. Calling to order the May 10th meeting of the 14 Mile Watershed Alliance. So I can see by roll call, I think you've captured all of that. I see Jerry. Hi, Jerry.
Hey,
Yeah, do we know who Jane is yet? No, we don't.
Well, welcome, Jane. So,
I think though, unless they can't figure out how to put their name on there, we'd prefer people put their last names in.
Mhm.
We'd like to know who's attending.
yeah. Okay, so let's move ahead. Have you all had a chance to review the minutes of the prior meeting, the April 12th meeting?
yep.
Yep.
Motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thanks. I do not have any announcements. Does anyone else have anything they want to announce? Nothing.
No.
Okay. So status of the 14 Mile Watershed Alliance. I think we are official because we just received the bill from the attorney for his services. So I think that is the official confirmation. So Carl is not able to join us today, so we'll defer his discussion to some later point. I see that Anna is here. I didn't hear from Kason, but Anna, I wondered, do you have anything to share about the 9 key element plan?
No, not in regards to like when the new hire will be coming on and stuff. I think that still has to go through county board. So hopefully you should know more from Kason. I don't want to speak on his behalf, but hopefully we should know more within the next few months.
Okay, all right. So nothing new to report, right?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. All right, so go ahead.
If I could just share for a second, I talked to
Please.
Anna and Kason the other day when they were working at Huntington Beach Club, and Kason did mention that he was asking for some additional money from the county to try to advertise that at a little higher grade to get even a more qualified, more experienced candidate. So that's in the works.
Well, thanks for sharing that, Dave. That's encouraging. Good. Anything else? Okay, I was going to mention that you'll notice that I've reorganized the agenda. And because we had appointed standing committees, I just thought it made more sense to organize that by the committees. As you go through these, I think we all understand that you may or may not have firsthand information. There might be others on the committee who can provide information to that. So with that, Karen, can we start with your group, the Publicity and Community Outreach?
Sure. Sure. Just so you know, I have been working on multiple things lately and have been in several meetings with other members who are working on some committees with me. We're working on a brochure for the 9 key element plan. I'm working with Don and Scott and Rachel, and I'm still trying to plug all the pieces in so we can get the brochure to a place where we can share it with everybody. So we are working on that now. It's nothing that will be the type of a brochure that Kason would produce with, detailed information. It's just supposed to give a highlight of what's going on within the brochure. And then we're also working on, I'm also working to revise the lawn fertilizer brochure, because Carson brought up that I had some mistakes in there. So I am working to revise that and kind of update it a little bit. So again, I will share that with everybody, just visually, nothing, structurally as much. The other thing that I've been doing that's been really fun, I consider it one of the better opportunities for our group, is to work with Nakusa High School. I've been working with them on doing some programs with them next year, starting next fall. So right now, I'm working with Gus Mancuso, who Don had gotten him involved in this. So he's kind of the head person on it. He's kind of structuring it. And then within the group, there's Keith Johnson, who is the principal of the high school. And there's also Mike Schoenfeld, who is the environmental sciences teacher. And we will be bringing in Taylor Lynn, who is the civics teacher. So within our group, we're going to meet again. We just met in May. We're going to meet again in June to kind of get more structure to what we're doing. So if anybody has any questions about that or any suggestions about that, I'm definitely open for that now. So that's where I'm at with communications. I'm, at some point, we're going to have to get a committee together for the state of our lakes, which will be early August. So anybody who wants to get involved with that, I would love to know. So please let me know. And also, oh, I'm hearing a echo all of a sudden. That was weird. And the other thing I wanted to bring up is the farmers market is coming up real soon. That'll be May 21st, which is a Friday. So I think a lot of you have been vaccinated. So I would love to know which members are available from 9 to 1 on Fridays to help out with that. And of course, the first one is the 21st of May. So if any of you can do that, please let me know as soon as possible. And then also we'd like to get some kind of a schedule going so we know who can be at each farmer's market. I think it would be good to have 2 of us at each of the farmer's markets. So I think that's about it. Any questions? Anybody going to jump in?
I have no, Karen, I don't have a question. I would just say, wow, you've got a lot going on. And thank you very much for all of that.
Yes.
As mentioned on the 21st, the first one, when we do booth setup, I can be there first thing in the morning
Okay.
and just to help get things set up. So mark me down for that if you want to. And I can usually, I'm thinking I can help wrap things up in my schedule, depending upon what other schedule you might have for others. So I'll just be kind of a help mode where needed. Okay.
And we will need, I'm technically not going to be completely like, I'll be vaccinated, but I don't think, I'm not going to be 2 weeks after. So if somebody else can do it, that would be great because I can be there, but I'm going to be masked. So let me know if any of you guys can do it. We really need people to show up for this. This is a big part of what we're doing to get our name out there. So please let me know.
Karen, in regard to the fertilizer, I don't think you should take any blame for that. I don't know where that happened. So
No, I probably worded that wrong, Carson.
I don't know.
I mean, I did put it together. I mean, I did, obviously I didn't catch it, but I did correct it. And I do appreciate you sending me all the information, Carson. That
Okay.
was instrumental in getting that corrected.
No blame
Thank
there.
you so much. I really
No blame.
appreciate it.
Okay.
And then I'll pass it by everybody. So everybody has a chance to look at it, see if they like the visuals, see if they like all that stuff. So that will be coming your way, hopefully soon. But, I'm trying to keep everything going. And also if anybody has anything to do with Camelot, as far as getting them to let us have a booth, you're still working, are you going to do that, Don? Okay, good.
Yeah, I'll do that. I haven't had a chance to contact Dan, but I'll write myself a note to get hold of him.
Sounds good. All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, thank
Oh,
you.
Karen, did you get things lined up for the Sherwood for the 3rd of July?
I did.
Okay.
Thank you
Good.
so much. Michelle is working with me on that. I sent her an email telling her we wanted, a certain size space.
Yes.
So, and she hasn't contacted me since, but she said it would be closer to the event.
Okay.
So if you know anything else, Dave, let me know.
No, I just didn't know whether, it would be incorporated into the craft fair area or some other area, but it doesn't really matter to me where, as long as you're taken care of.
Yeah. I'd have to go back to my email to see exactly where she, told me. She was asking me more the size of the booth. I don't know if that makes a difference. as to what area it's at. So,
Okay.
but I'll let you know as soon as I get word from her. I'll probably follow up with her this week. Okay,
Okay,
then.
anything more? Anything more for Karen? No, okay, thanks, Karen.
Thank you.
Appreciate all your help with that. Next group is Watershed Research, which John heads up. John is not with us today. I can tell you that I believe it was last week, he and Kane were out and did probably water test month number 45. So that's the only update I have. Phil, anything to report on in-lake testing?
It just that we'll be doing the starting the May testing the week of the 24th. Hopefully the weather cooperates and people have their boats in by then. And then we'll continue once a month through October.
Okay. Very good, thanks. And you're all lined up with volunteers, right?
Got everybody on
Good.
board. I need to distribute the kits and kind of review the procedure with each of them, but with the exception of the Camelot South group, they've all done this at least 2 years, so
Oh, okay,
they're
great.
old hats at it.
Excellent. Thanks, Phil.
Yeah.
So the Owens Rock denitrification project, Taylor Haas had been our contact on that, and I think you all heard that Taylor has left for another position. So they've not yet hired anybody to replace her. So I did talk with Scott Provost about this. It had to be at least a week ago. He indicated that they were scheduled to put in the initial test wells any day now. That gives them the baseline reading. And he will let us know when that is so that we can do B-roll video for that. So when I learn more, I'll share it with all of you. Next category is environmental quality and grant development. Dave Trudeau.
Dave, you're up.
Hi, Dave.
Oh, you're
You're
Gotcha,
muted.
gotcha. Yeah,
You're muted.
gotcha.
Okay, super.
When I saw the puzzled faces, I realized I was muted. So kind of the biggest thing going on is coordinating with Tri-Lakes for mailing. They're going to insert the Healthy Lakes Get Started brochure. So I was able to obtain 3,500 of those from the DNR, and I delivered those to Tri-Lakes late last week. They're still going to look at some manner of making an address label with my contact information and adding that to the brochure. We are hopeful that that'll be a task that ODC can do so that it doesn't require a long assembly line of volunteers to put that information on. But I don't know the outcome of that plan just yet. Hope to find out more information at the next Tri-Lakes meeting coming up.
Dave, is that something that's going to get mailed out, or how's it going to be distributed?
Yes, it's going to be mailed out as there's a packet of information. Don has a better idea, I believe, what kind of things are going on in that mailing. But from the 14-mile standpoint, the Healthy Lakes brochure is what information we're getting out there.
Okay.
Dave, I sent Gina Combs a template for a sticker that will cover the desired area on that brochure. And she was going to pass it along to Carl for approval. And I assume then that they will arrange to have those printed. I don't know if I copied you on the email, but she has received a quote from Newmark for printing 3,500 of those labels on Avery stickers. So I'll follow up with her to make sure that she's still working that issue.
Okay, that'd be good. I did not. I did after I dropped off the brochures. I sent an email that said I just wanted to confirm that 3,500 was enough, and I haven't heard back. So that was my only concern, is make sure that that was an accurate number for what they need.
All right, I'll follow up with Gina.
One other thing, to make sure we have a few extra in case we need some for this mailing or for the farmers market, I picked up the undistributed Healthy Lakes brochure that were given to the library for their event on Earth Day. So initially I thought they were going to like put those in all of the packets that they were handing out to the kids, but I don't think they did. I got the impression that they put it out on a display table. So there were more left than I expected. So, but we'll get them out one way or another. I mean, if a mailing goes out to every single landowner in Tri-Lakes, we're nobody should have a very good excuse for not being aware of the program. So I'm also starting to get a few calls in. I got a call just this morning. I've also got a call from somebody associated with the Sherwood Beach Club that wants to look at doing a shoreline project there that may include Healthy Lakes. Just wanted to mention also that Anna and Kaysen have been working diligently on a project at Huntington Beach Club, and you can see that from the dam on Kings Way. It's just right down below the dam. They resloped that, put in some fabric and some rock to cut down on muskrat damage on the shoreline, and then from the Healthy Lake standpoint, that's going to include 350 square foot plantings on that property as well this year. So, so we're looking for that to be a showcase for what can be done to improve shorelines.
Hey, Dave, can I ask a question about that?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was Kaysen and the group doing that, but has anybody gotten any photos or video of the work being done?
I see Anna's unmuted, so I'll let her answer, but I feel undoubtedly there is.
Oh,
Yes, Don, we have pictures of the whole process from start to finish. So, and I
excellent.
can share them once I have them all, because Sharon Kilcoyne has been helping me get the pictures. So
I would like to use those on Facebook
Yeah.
to show that
Okay.
off. And then also one more quick question, Dave. Do you have brochures for for our events that we're going to do this year for Healthy Lakes?
Yes, that's why I said that I have probably 50 or 60 that were left over from the library, so that'll be our start.
Okay.
And then after I see how many are needed for sure for this mailing, if there are extra, I'll get those. Then I'll order more. The folks with DNR have been wonderful at getting me information timely, and most of the time I've been requesting these brochures and get them within a week. And so when I had 3,500 brochures come to my house within 4 days, I was pretty pleased. So
Wow.
Good news.
okay.
So just to finish my question, my thought was if we have pictures or videos, we should think about a video about the Healthy Lakes projects that are being done. You know, I think I've said this before, we're probably one of the more prolific groups in terms of getting Healthy Lakes projects going. So we should do a video about that. So maybe this is a good one, this project.
Hopefully it'll be some good footage for a good professional editor to start putting something together.
Mhm.
Okay, anything else for Healthy Lakes? Okay, Carson, could you give us a little more update on fertilizer clean water cooperator program? And one question I had right off the bat is, are we going to try to have clean water cooperator signs to distribute at the farmers market?
Carson, you're on mute.
Owners on mute.
All right, because I don't have anything to say anyway. No, nothing has been happening there, but I think that's a very good idea. Tri-Lake should have the cooperator signs, so I can make contact with them, but I think that's a good thing to have. on behalf of the organization and the brochures. So I think those are the two things that we want to incorporate into the farmers market.
And make sure, Carson, that you get the pledges too, you know, the paperwork for the pledging.
Mhm, mhm.
We'll have that available.
Okay,
Thank
I
you.
will. I'll work on that.
The last time, you know, after when we had an in-person State of the Lakes conference, had really good participation, and I saw a lot out, and then they seemed to not be very prolific here this last year. So it'd be good to try to get those visible again.
Mhm.
Okay, if anything else for Carson? If not, Don, can you give us an update on the CCL grant that you worked on with Wisconsin Waterfowl?
Yeah.
I mean, Wisconsin Wetland Association.
Right. So the grant deadline was, I think it was the 26th of April. So we met the deadline. I actually talked with a coordinator out east. I think we've got a pretty good shot at it. And so we will know, I think they award the money in fall, like September timeframe, and I believe they announced the awardees in the July timeframe. So I hope this is first of many grants, and we owe a big thanks to Wisconsin Wetlands, Terry Hames, for letting us know about that. So when we got a little bit of extra time, we should take a look at that listing, see if there aren't some more that we should request. So that's what I know about it.
Might you happen to know whether where that funding comes from? I mean, is that the pool of money from corporations or nonprofits, or do you have any idea?
Yeah, boy. It's Catalyst is an organization, and I don't really know where the money comes from behind that. It's been in operation for a number of years, and they dole out about $250,000 a year. And so the grant that we applied for is $25,000 over 2 years. We would use some of it to fund the work of Wisconsin Wetlands and helping us with outreach, and then some of the rest to to hire somebody to help us develop a nice looking newsletter and other professional looking documents. So that's what I know about it, Dave.
Thank you.
So if anybody's curious or interested, and I can get more information, but if you do a Google search on Catalyst Landscape Conservation Fund, that's where it came from.
Dave, I've got a question about that application that we were going to make by May 1st to be able to get grants directly from the DNR instead of going through Tri-Lakes.
Yes.
All that get input?
That was submitted, yes.
Okay, terrific. Do you know when we'll know about that?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I'm assuming well before the next Healthy Lakes deadline, which is 1st of November. So.
Okay.
But that went into I'm drawing a blank. I can't think of her name. It's Pam Toshner's head of Healthy Lakes, but that actually went into the finance person.
Okay.
Scott. Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead with the treasurer's report, Barb?
Okay. The finance area, what we're trying to do is get some donations. And so we've kind of
I'll catch you later
met
then.
a couple of times, and
No.
the first result was the special newsletter that went out announcing
later.
us as
Can I
an
give you a shout
official
later?
501c3 organization, with the letter from Don requesting people to either volunteer
you
or
later.
to
Thanks,
submit
Scott. Bye.
donations. And we did, we've already received 4 donations for $800 from that effort. And they all came through the website, through PayPal. And so that only took a day to process this time around rather than 3 weeks that it did the first time when Karen was testing out the system for us. So hopefully some additional ones will come in. But last Friday, Phil and Karen and Don and I did a Zoom meeting to kind of plan out the next step of our process to get donations. And we had a list of individuals that we were looking at as potential donees. And so we added a few more names to that list. And then each one of us signed up to be the primary contact, either by letter or email or telephone with each one of these individuals. But at this point in time, we're still building a list. And I really would like to ask for your help of people that you might know that you think would be interested in making a donation so that we can add them into our efforts to get us launched and off the ground. You know, one of the things that will be coming up in the future is we'll be able to apply for grants and everything, but most of the grants, especially the ones through the DNR, we have to spend the money first and then get reimbursed later. So we're going to need money on hand and able to do those types of things and get them off the ground. So just send me an email or give me a phone call with additional names or groups that you think we might be able to add to that list. And if you would want to be the person to initiate contact with that person, great. If not, we'll decide who's going to do that. And hopefully we'll see some results from that. So Karen or Phil or Don, do you have anything else to add to that process?
No, I think you explained it well. I just had a question, Barb. If 4 people have donated so far, were they any of the people on the list, or
No,
do we?
those were 4 that donated as a result of the special newsletter that went out.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Karen.
Yeah, Barb, I
Yes.
would like to know if there's some way we can do something to make it easy for people to donate at the farmer's market or any of the events that we promote. So is there something we can come up with, maybe an envelope or,
How about a donation jar?
Well, I would like to get the contact information.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
with you.
Ah,
Yeah, so some kind of a form maybe, and then maybe have an envelope that they can put their donation in and then have stuff on the envelope maybe. I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking off the top of my head. But I would like to get information from them, you know, so that we can get them on our lists.
Okay. Okay, do you want me to put together something?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. I mean, even if we can print on the envelope, the information, you know, when they put their money in the envelope, they can put, you know, their name, their email address, you know, just simple stuff like that, maybe.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, if they write a check too, a lot of that would be right there. And so
Good
they'd
point.
only have to maybe add a phone number or an email
Right.
address or something.
Right. That would be great.
Okay. All right, I will
So-
work on that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, Carson, maybe you remember, because I believe that you manned the table that we had the year before last. But I know that we had a sign up. And I believe that we had people include their email address. Do you recall a sign up sheet like that, Carson?
I do vaguely, but I don't recall where it went,
Uh-huh.
where it ended up, let's put it that way.
Okay, well, it's pretty easy to come up with something like that, and I can do that.
Yeah. I think we should make it easy for people to put cash in the jar. You know, it might be that someone may not want to take the time to fill out an information card, but you know, if they reach in and throw $5 in the jar, that'd be all right too.
Yeah.
So, you know, we could make a nice little note card that says, you know, join our mailing list or something like that, and then take their information that way.
Yeah.
yeah.
I know
it'd be-
from the Friends of the Library always has a food booth at the Camelot Frolics. And the last couple of times that we've done it, we have put a donation jar out. We were amazed at how much money was just stuffed in there by people. So, you know, I think that's a real good thing. If we can get them to sign up to volunteer and help too, that'd be even better.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, Barb,
Yes.
one thought, if you create an envelope for people to fill out, maybe just a checkbox if they want to receive our newsletter. So
Okay.
we'll add them to the list.
Okay.
That's a great idea. And also, do we, this is, I guess, to Don, do we actually have the Secretary's Director's Award? Is it like something physically?
No, we don't. I should get hold of Dan Bauman because what Dan wanted to do, Dan wanted to come here and actually present it to our town and Tri-Lakes and us. And because of the COVID restriction, he wasn't able to do that. But that would be, are you thinking that it'd be nice to have on that booth?
Yeah.
I agree. I should, let me write myself a note to get hold of Bauman.
I think anything we can do to show the community that we're working hard to restore and protect our watershed would be instrumental in getting people to have faith and confidence in what we're doing.
And yeah, if we can collect information for newsletters and stuff, even for people who don't donate at this time, they're all potential future donors.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Good point, Dave.
Barb,
Hey, yes.
I have some information for you. I'm in the process of selling the last aqua sweep unit that we had left over from our trial. So there'll be $650 coming in to Tri-Lakes for that. Who gets that now?
Oh,
The Alliance get that, or
I don't know.
just want to let you know about it?
So the money came out of the Tri-Lakes budget before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then they'll probably get it, I would think.
They'll probably take it, yeah. But maybe we could split it. Who
I'll
knows?
see what I can do. I just want to let you know
Thank
It'll
you,
be-
Jerry.
check coming in by the end of the month.
That would help. That would really be helpful if we could get some of it, Jerry. That would be great.
I'll just tell them that it needs to go to trial 14 miles because we originally started the project, see what happens.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Oh,
That's a
Dan,
good strategy.
that is.
There's no money, they have not put it in their budget as income, so,
We can save them the trouble, right?
yep, we sure can.
Yep.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jerry.
Super. Okay, we've got a treasurer's report here from Phil.
Yes, just briefly, Barb already mentioned the donations we received from our special announcement. And those, of course, are now being immediately deposited in our PayPal account. So when I see them, I transfer them over to our checking account. We also, I think Don mentioned that we received Nick Flanagan's invoice for the services he provided in terms of organizing our alliance. That was invoice for $650. I sent a check off today for that. So as of today, our cash balance is $694.73. So we can use any donations that we can find. The last point is I've been working with the Amazon Smile people to try to get set up so that people can, contribute to us a 0.5% of the purchases they make on Amazon. It turns out they use this IRS publication 78, which is published monthly by the IRS as the means to verify that we are indeed a bona fide nonprofit. Unfortunately, the IRS is up to a year behind on publishing that.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my goodness.
And that's your government at work. And I'll keep monitoring it until we can actually appear, in the search on Amazon Smile, and then I will set up an account for us. So stay tuned. That's all I have, Barb.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, I think that's it from the finance area.
Okay, thanks, Barb and Phil. The next category is mine is partnership development. And one of the things is to identify speakers, and I'm open to suggestions. One of the things I've been thinking about is to invite Terry Haynes from Wisconsin Wetlands Association. You might remember, he's the one who attended that 14-mile tour that we had last October. And it was through his discussion with Scott Provost that we happened on that denitrification experiment. So would everybody consider him a good guest speaker just to talk about wetlands in general?
Absolutely.
Who else? Any other suggestions?
Well, I don't know if this would be a good, I kind of think it would. You know, Packers kind of is like our sister membership group. Maybe we could get Rick Georgeson or somebody to come in and talk about what they've been doing. I know they've been meeting with the Nisita charter schools recently, and they're doing some good things. And we can kind of keep up to date with what they're doing.
Yeah. Good idea.
Rachel, do you have any
John?
suggestions for us?
Thanks, Barb. Yeah, I was just thinking on that. And, you know, I don't really have anything that comes off the top of my head at the moment, but let me think on it and I'll let you know.
Okay.
Anyone else? So if you think about something, just shoot me an email and I'll put it in the file for future speakers. So,
I have a suggestion, but I don't know who it would be, and maybe Rachel can help with this. But since we are a new 501c3 nonprofit, is there any entity that could come in and give us direction or information about how we can be more successful in what we do, Rachel? Is there, or maybe Tracy knows, or somebody might know, or Anna?
Karen, I think that's a fabulous idea. And yes, we can certainly reach out to some folks. You know, I believe you guys have had the Fishers and Farmers group come and speak before, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
But I think reaching out maybe through that group would be a good place to start. Maybe not have them specifically speak to you, but they most likely have contacts of folks who could offer that kind of organizational development.
That sounds good.
I have a question. It reminded me of something, and I was looking back at some meeting notes from the Adams County Lake Alliance, and I noticed that Eric Olson had gone down there from UWSP, and he had gone down to speak at one of their meetings about organizing and that. And I think through his Wisconsin Lakes affiliation, I think he's got a pretty good handle on the 501c3 business. Are you familiar with that? You work somewhere in his organization, don't you, Rachel?
Yeah, Eric and I have crossed paths several times, and he is an absolutely wonderful educator. I'll shoot him an email when we're done meeting here today and see what he suggests, whether he would have the space on his plate to come in and give a talk, or if he knows someone he works closely with. But
okay.
And please offer that he can do it virtually, even if we meet in person.
Yeah.
I mean,
will do.
it's easier on his schedule, so he doesn't have to drive out or anything. I mean, Patrick Goggins is always a good guy. I mean, he has a lot of information.
Patrick's so animated, I'd rather have him in person, but
Yeah. Well, you know, he did a great job. Remember at our
He did.
last State of the Lakes?
Yeah.
He's something we should keep in mind. It'd be nice to have him back.
And just so everybody's aware, I'm going to the Lake Leaders Conference coming up this month. It's mid-month, around the 18th and 19th, thanks to Packers who sponsored me. So I'd like to thank Scott, but he's not here. But anyways, So I'm going to be talking with a lot of people who are involved in lakes and all that kind of stuff. I'm hoping to get some more information and maybe get some people to present. I can give you some ideas then after
Okay, great.
I've done that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, anything else on that topic? Then I'll move on, groups. And one of the groups we've been working with is Wisconsin Potato Vegetable Growers. And so I had talked with Thomas Houlihan, their executive director, a few weeks back. And he said, well, I'll let you know when the next meeting is of their water task force. And I met with them, I believe it was the end of 2019, like the October timeframe. And so a lot has happened with us since then. And so I had asked Thomas if he could put me on the agenda. So he did that. And actually that meeting has started and I'm on the agenda today for 3:20. So I'll have plenty of time to get to that. But, you know, the intent is to really tell them about our new organization and how we're trying to be open to all people in the watershed and just bring them up to date on what's happened, because since that time frame, we've gotten the aforementioned Secretary's Director's Award. The Nike Element Plan has been approved, and so there are a lot of good things to talk about. So Tamis has been helpful with working with them. And I know that Tracy Hames through the Wetlands Group is also been working with them. So I have some hope that we can build some good bridges there.
And I have a couple of questions. Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Couple of questions. First of all, can we, do we know that these organizations are actually obtaining grants or applying for grants, these groups? I mean, if they're going out there and applying for grants that are, you know, could be utilized for our organization, not just for us, but I mean, to help out? Or are they just sitting idle in the, you know, in the background here and waiting for us to, you know, make the first move? Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, are you talking about grants that are in the Nike Element Plan?
Grants that would be available to the farmers, you know, for the you know, the actions that we're taking. So are they doing anything? Are they trying to obtain money or grants to help out with, you know, their problems, which are our problems?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good question. I'm not sure I can answer that fully. Here's what I do know about it. The Water Task Group has been a group for probably 3 or 4 years, and you would recognize some of the people who are on it, like Jeremy Pavelski and Andy Dirks and folks like that. And so their primary focus is more about water quantity and a little bit about water quality. So they may be working with grants, or they might just be funded by the Wisconsin Potato Vegetable Growers. But the other thing that's come up in conversation is that Tamis Houlihan had told me probably a couple of months ago now that Tom Lochner from Wisconsin Cranberries had contacted him because there are a couple of the growers in the area who are interested in looking into a producer-led watershed council. And that's a funded kind of an organization. It's not, they don't fund organizations like us, but a farmers group they would. And so there is some movement in that area. Tamis wasn't totally up on what status they are right now, but I might find out about that later this afternoon. Again, that was associated with cranberry growers, but Tamis feels that there might also be people in the watershed who are crop farmers who also could be part of that organization. So if I learn more about that, I'll let you know. Other than that, I'm not sure what grants they've applied for. Anna might be aware of it, at least those in the Adams County area, because a lot of them would come through the county conservation group. So Anna, anything you know about there?
Yeah, not in the 14 mile necessarily, but we are making headway with Little Rocha Cree and Big Rocha Cree and forming producer-led watershed groups. Some really great headway, and Rachel has been helping me out tremendously with that. So and it's not necessarily them worrying about water quantity, because they do have a lot of water quantity now. They're looking at water quality issues right now. We had a meeting last Thursday, and we discussed water quality, and we discussed how to bridge the gaps in between the agricultural community and non-ag community. And so I know we have high hopes for Big Rosicrucian and Little Rosicrucian, and then the new position that is going to be starting here through the 9 key element plan, that will be one of their main goals, is to work with producers within 14 mile to hopefully create a producer-led watershed group, or to, you know, encourage the producers to create the group. But yeah, it's definitely coming along, and these producers are really excited to be working with non-agricultural groups like you guys to see your perspective. And if they want to apply for grants in a producer-led watershed group through DATCAP, they have to set out like goals and how they will reach those goals. And the producers we're working with, Jeremy Pavelski and Dick Pavelski and Bula's and a few other ones, and they would like to hear others' opinions before they set those goals. So, you know, they're working hard just like you guys are.
Thanks,
Anna,
Anna.
can I ask a quick question?
Mhm.
So as far as the county approving this person for us, you know, this additional person for the watershed, do you know if that's in the works?
Yeah, it's in the works. That's about all I can say on it.
And I have one more question, and this probably goes to Dave. The grant money that we're getting, the funds that we're getting, are we able to share any of that money with these agricultural, producers? Is there any way that we can kind of give them some cash to, to either spend on studies or on actual programs that they're putting together, just to put that out there to show them that we're serious about this, and we're really want to work with them. Does that make any sense? Dave?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of, would go through those lists of grant possibilities and what they're, what different kinds of projects they're for, and see if we can, we can certainly help the ag community look for money sources and try to keep the communication open, what kind of projects they're looking for funding for, and see what we can do to help get them leads, or maybe even help with the grant, help them with the grant process.
Right. Kind of a financial partnership, if we could build on that might be something that would be helpful.
Yep.
So Carson, did we answer your question
Yes.
Earlier about the grants? Okay. Anything else? Okay, so any lake reports?
I don't have any on Lake Camelot.
No, nothing.
Anything on Sherwood?
Nothing new.
Okay.
Well, there's the big Huntington Beach thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yep. Look for that when you drive down Kingsway.
Actually, we saw it from the boat. And we were wondering what was going on.
I've seen it when I drive across the dam, and yeah, that's a huge project. That's a lot of shoreline.
Maybe it'd be nice if they had a sign saying what they're doing.
Yeah. Or even put the sign up on the road on Kingsway, so people, as they look down, they would see it.
Dave, where do you get the signs for the healthy lakes and rivers? I know, I think it was Karen's yard or somebody's yard had a few signs in it advertising healthy lakes.
I've been in contact with Pam Toshner, and with the COVID stuff, they're about a year behind in getting them more made up.
Okay.
Usually when they do give them, they give them when the project's complete. That's when they can showcase it. I may have one sign here that I can get to you. I'll look for it. When we did projects on Yeoman Beach Club, we did like 3 different projects there, but I only put up one sign, so I may be in possession of one. I'll
Okay,
have
thank
to
you.
dig. I'll have to dig though.
All right.
So I have a question about signs, and I was up in Clark County last week, and as I drove back towards home, I saw a sign that said you are now entering the Yellow River watershed. And it's a pretty good sized sign because I noticed it at highway speed. And it made me wonder about something. One of the things we're trying to do is to promote awareness and like our place in the 14-mile watershed. And I had a couple of thoughts. One was, if you think about Highway D where the S-curve is, where the 14-mile flows under, I just think it'd be great to have a sign each way that says 14-mile creek, because it would remind people who are, most of our weekenders are coming from that direction, right? And it would remind people that they are a part of that 14-mile creek watershed. And then when I brought it up to Scott Provost, he said that we should consider on Highway 13 of having a sign that says you're entering the 14-mile watershed, and perhaps doing the same on Highway D or Highway 73. And so I asked him, well, who would we talk to about doing a sign on a county highway? So he recommended the highway department. Honestly, I don't know quite where to start with that process, but Anna, are you familiar with that at all?
I am not at all familiar with that. Maybe give Kaysen a call, or I could talk to Kaysen and see if that's something he might know more about. Or just call the highway department and
and
ask.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
Okay.
an outstanding idea, Don. That's outstanding. That would really bring attention to what is the 14-mile watershed.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
great.
I'll put it on my list of things to do. All right. Anything else regarding lake reports? How about town updates or county updates?
Nothing from the town related to water. Got a lot of things going on, but not lake water related.
Okay, and
Hey, Jerry, quick question for you. Talking about these signs, do you think the town would be willing to allow us to put a sign like that on the Rome sign where they're coming and going from the town of Rome? I know they've got it for the snowmobile club.
Whereabouts you referring to?
Pardon me?
Where, what location?
On 13, where you're entering the town of Rome
Oh, yeah.
after the curve.
We got sign there for the snowmobile club. We got them for the Bird City and something else, but I'm sure we could get, if we got a sign in mind that.
No, I'm just thinking of something similar to what Don is talking about. Where you're entering the 14-mile watershed, or something a little bit more jazz to it as far as what we're doing. I mean, you don't want to make it overly complicated, but just some awareness.
If we come up with an idea, sure, I can arrange to have that done.
Okay, maybe Don, you and I can think of that as well. Thanks,
Maybe we
Jerry.
could look at our watershed maps and kind of see where the boundary is. It might not, it might not be at the town of Rome. Maybe it's either north or south of that a little, and maybe where we have our actual watershed boundary, that might be a way to put the sign up and not have it get us cluttered with so many other messages is all I'm thinking.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
That's true, and it'd even be good to have one over on 73 by Plainfield where we enter the watershed over there.
Mhm.
Yeah, it could go all the way over by the interstate somewhere. And and the actual watershed, the boundary is east of that. So
Yeah, that would be good for everybody, all directions.
Okay, so Carson, you and I can touch base maybe later in the week and come up with some ideas, right?
If there's some different ideas that we
Okay,
put our heads together.
good. Appreciate the help. All right, so I think we're done with our updates. We should set the next agenda. The next meeting following the second Monday would be June 14th. And does that work for everybody?
Yep.
Okay, so let me throw something else out. I had a conversation with Jamie Gabert up at the town of Rome a couple weeks ago, and I asked her what facility there might be for us to resume in-person meetings. And so we could do that, and the community room would be available if we choose to meet that way. And for those who may not have been up there, they have like lucite or plastic barriers, and the 5 town board members are spread out pretty well. I think we could probably pull it off. They still do have the masking ordinance, as far as I know. And I would be comfortable taking part in a meeting like that with a mask. And I think many of you commented on an email I sent out about that. And it sounds like there'd be a willingness to do that. So what Jamie had suggested is because they have so many different WebEx meetings going, she asked if we could do this using Zoom. In other words, do a meeting similar to what we're doing, but also introduce the in-person element to it. So does that sound like something we want to take on for the next meeting?
I'm comfortable.
Yes.
Me too.
I think it's a
Everybody
good
okay with
idea.
that? Yeah.
I am
Ray-
too.
Yeah, Rachel, let me ask the question. Would you be willing to continue to host it as you've done?
Yeah, that's no issue.
Yeah, and you would do that remotely because you're still quarantined, right, in your role?
Correct, yes.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
we do, I mean, as long as I give notice, I am able to attend in-person events, provided they're under a certain number of folks, but I don't think we'll run into that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the reason I asked the question is, number one, we appreciate the way that you facilitate the meetings for us. It works out really well. Number two is, I've noticed, I've attended some of the meetings, like the Tri-Lakes meetings, and the utilities meetings up there. And so they use the TV screen, and they also have a laptop there, and I believe we're either talking into the laptop or something like that. So, you know, I'm not sure about the remote monitoring aspects of it, how that would all work. So maybe it's something we could have a discussion with Jamie just to fully understand that. Would that be okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say, probably the best thing to do is maybe a few folks, we, meet at the in-person location and kind of do a pseudo setup and just run
Okay.
everybody through it. So a few people are kind of familiar with what to expect and what needs to happen to make that Zoom connection possible in person, and just have a short little training.
Mhm.
Mhm. Doesn't the town use WebEx instead of Zoom?
They do.
They do, yeah.
Is that an issue at all?
Well, what Jamie had suggested, I think because they have so many meetings on WebEx, she'd probably like not to have to manage this one also. So she asked if we could use Zoom as we do today to do the meetings. So.
Okay.
All right, so that's a good idea. I think a little test session would be good. So how do we coordinate this? Does somebody want to just kind of take this on and suggest some dates and such? Anybody willing to do that?
Well, I'm communications.
Oh, okay.
I
So
don't know
would you
if
be
that
willing
works.
to, yeah, would you be willing to do that, Karen? Just kind of take it on to get it set up
Yeah.
for the next meeting? Okay.
So Rachel, we'll touch base. Maybe we can kill a few birds with one stone that when we get together. Because I know there's other things we want to do.
That sounds great. Yeah, shoot me an email.
I will.
Okay. Very good. So any topics to be added for the next month? Anything come to mind now?
You know, maybe if we could get somebody to talk about the nonprofit standpoint, you know, that might be what we need the most at this point in time.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm still, you know, I don't know enough about it. I would like to get more information on that.
The other method you could utilize rather than contacting a nonprofit, and that doesn't hurt, is an attorney.
Yeah.
You know, he knows what the legalese is and what you can do and what you can't do.
oh, well, we've done that, actually, we hired Nick Flanagan
Right.
to organize it all for us.
No, another person I was going to suggest, if Eric can't do it or doesn't have a suggestion, is, you know, that person that helped us with the website, Karen.
Oh, Karen Reynolds.
Yeah, she might, because, you know, she's kind of gone through a lot of those sorts of things. She might be a good resource.
I know Eric is putting on a seminar series right now. I actually missed for the first time the last one on Thursday, but it's about lake districts, which is not what we are, but you know, he talks about a lot of the stuff in that. So he is the ideal person, obviously, because he knows the ins and outs. So, and I know he's working with somebody else. There's another gentleman, I don't know I can't think of it off the top of my head, but there's somebody who's doing it with him.
Okay, could we leave it this way? Rachel, would you mind following up with Eric just to see if that's a possibility? If not, a couple of us know Karen well enough to ask her if she'd be willing to spend a few minutes with us as a guest speaker and just talk about their experience and what they're doing as a nonprofit. Does that sound all right?
Yeah, we'll do. I'll shoot a message to Eric this afternoon and let you know what he says.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you. I think that covers everything. So we're ready for adjournment if somebody wants to make a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time. Have a good afternoon.
Right.
Thank you.
Wish me luck on the next call.
Yes,
Good
yes,
luck,
good luck.
John.
Good
Exactly.
luck, Don.
John, is that open to the public?
You know, I don't know. Because it was sent to me by the secretary of the group.
Okay,
Um,
just asking.
yeah, I don't know. I'll take a look at the link. If I find that it is, I'll shoot you an email with it. I don't want to just invite people to a private meeting, right? So, yeah,
Okay, bye now.
I'll just
But-
bring up one
Bye.
question that I've got, Don. Is
Yeah.
Packers a 501c3?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, can they give us some information?
I mean,
Well,
Scott,
yeah.
yeah, Scott would be good for that. He's the
Yeah.
president. So
Mhm.
Just a thought.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
great thought.
Yeah, because one of the recommendations for speakers was Packers, and yeah, Scott or Rick, I think, could do a fine job with us.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know what would be interesting is it would be interesting to know about the TMDL and our role in that.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, good idea.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's a good suggestion. Thank you, sir. All right. So we approved adjournment, so I'm all done. And
Yep.
I hope you all had a good afternoon. Take
Yep,
care.
you too.
Thanks.
now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.